All right, Nick, why don't you give me some words? Let's start with slang. And you folks do not often use certain slang words, like you don't use stuff. You don't use cool. You don't use, I don't know, throw out some slang words you wouldn't use in a paper. Ain't. Very good. What else might you not use in a paper? No, that you would use in a paper, okay? Huh? No, I'm saying, no, Sam, I'm sorry, I'm not making myself clear. Which words are you folks, as student writers, very unlikely to use in a paper? Folks? Yeah. Oh, no. Huh? No, slang. Folks, how do you talk in the Commons? You talk sweet. See, there you go. You use the word sweet. Okay, so you wouldn't use IDK in a paper. Yes. Janky. There you go. Right. The legit. You wouldn't use legit. Shh. My point is that with honors students, the vast majority of slang words are obviously slang, obviously informal, and obviously unsuitable for formal writing within a high school classroom. And most of them you know as slang words. Some of them you never noticed before are slang words. People use them without knowing that they are informal, that they are perversions of English, that they are technically slang. So what we're trying to do here is identify that minority of slang words that you use without knowing that they're slang. Nick, give me one.
A couple times for like my Friday Night Lights, I'd use like puke or throw up instead of I think pussy and vomit.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Slang, you can do anything. I mean, you want to take the F word, you could put it in every part of speech you wanted to, actually. And people have. You use it as a preposition. I'm not quite sure how that would happen, but people are creative with slang. But, so with puke and throw up, this is not all that common. However, the word vomit is more formal. And if you could use some form of the word nausea, then you would work nauseous, feeling nauseated, something like that would work. What are more common ones? Nika? Dad and mom. Good.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when writing a paper, do you typically use the N word, but then in Friday Night Lights, Messenger uses it to make a point? You know, so like vomit. I think this is one of the formal language. So like vomit is formal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Say like you want to use puke because it has like a different connotation.
Correct. Okay. So, well, hold on. Let's go back to what we know about rhetorical devices and the claims of rhetoric. An author might use a specific type of slang intentionally to create a certain emotional effect if you're manipulating the audience. I was re-examining Friday Night Lights because I'm introducing it to English 10. He uses the N-word at the bottom of the very first paragraph in describing Booby Miles without quotation marks, just in regular narration. Now, what is he going for there? Is it an accident? Is he ridiculously racist? Is he ridiculously stupid? No, he's doing it intentionally at the final word of the first paragraph to punctuate with racism, to throw that racist overtone to the description of Booby Miles, to say that this boy deals with racism overhanging his head. He wants the impact, so he doesn't throw it in quotation marks, he just throws it in there. Now, can you do the same thing? Absolutely. And if you are trying to write in a complex and sophisticated fashion, as Bissinger does, knock yourself out, have fun. But if you're dealing with a fairly straightforward, what you're writing for me are really straightforward, superficial, and simple essays. Don't play tricks, okay? Especially when you are writing among a group of writers who may or may not know what they're doing. And the teacher looks at your writing and says, did he mean to do that? Chances are really good as a high school student, it's a mistake, you'll lose points. So if you have an assignment where it's intentionally obvious that you're playing with language for that purpose, then go ahead, do it. And you can see that there are sophisticated reasons to do it. But in the cases here, in this class is very narrow, restricted focus, don't do it. Okay. Yes, Nick.
So then, like I've used the word like white to describe a character, and I've also used black. So
Yes.
would that be considered slang as well?
No.
No.
White and black are accepted labels, formal labels for racial categories. If you use the word Caucasian or African American, sometimes that is either too formal, sometimes it doesn't quite capture what you're going for. White and black are accepted for Caucasian and African American nowadays. And black is accepted again. You don't have to use African American. Because a lot of people, a lot of advocates in the black community have said, no, we're fine with black. We want black back. African American is unnecessary and confusing. So there's that, and then what for? You've got Hispanic or Latino, and so on. Indian is accepted again. No